Lowdown.
What's up, guys? Liquid Lily here, and welcome to this week's episode of the Liquid Lowdown. Once again, we're doing my top 5 list of things that have happened in the past week that I found pretty interesting. So we're going to jump right into it. Coming in at number 5 is all about Fortnite. With the latest Season 10 release of the Battle Royale game, Season X they're calling it, there's one thing that's getting on everybody's nerves, and it all came to a head towards the end of this week with the hashtag on Twitter trending number 1, hashtag remove the Mechs. People are losing their minds over this. Epic Games has included a brute. There's this mech suit that you can jump in, it's 2-player, and it's totally OP. People are going into the game, they're getting blasted from they don't even know where. It's totally ruining players' game experience, and they're sick of it. People are whining, people are complaining, people are posting memes. Epic Games did respond that they are going to not nerf it. They're not nerfing it, they're not vaulting it, they're not taking it out of the game. They're going to monitor its progress, apparently. They did say that they were going to reduce the spawns of this giant mech suit. They're going to reduce the spawns, but they're not really doing much to decrease the damage. They're also including a laser focus. So they're going to put some laser targeting in there so you know when you're about to get obliterated, I guess if you see it coming, you have a chance to, put some sticks in place and try and survive the storm. I don't know. The collective question online is why? But you know what though? I kind of have an idea why. Because what is everybody talking about right now? Everybody's talking about Fortnite. Epic Games, y'all are crazy like a fox because you're getting Fortnite on everybody's minds. I'm not even a Fortnite player and I'm talking about it. They're expanding their reach. They're not really damaging their user base too much because let's face it, the people who love Fortnite, they love Fortnite. They're not gonna leave the game so that they can go play Apex Legends no matter how much they complain and threaten to do just that. They're not gonna do it. Y'all are not gonna do it. Y'all know y'all are not leaving Fortnite. Y'all are just gonna suck it up and you'll tough it out with the mechs. Maybe you can make enough noise that, maybe they will vault them and figure out what they're gonna do and bring them back at a later time. But in the meantime, I think that most of the Fortnite players are really gonna stick it out. You guys are gonna stick it out. You'll figure it out. Maybe they'll nerf it. Maybe they won't make it so overpowered. But you guys will hang in there until the next season release. And then you will have forgotten all about the big old bad brutes. That's number 5, Fortnite. Hashtag remove the mechs. Coming in at number 4 is movie news, and we're talking Coming to America 2. The Eddie Murphy movie from 30 years ago is getting a sequel, and more casting news has come out. James Earl Jones is back as the King, and of course Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and they just announced that Wesley Snipes has been given the role as like this leader of another tribe or something, some other African nation. So for all of y'all who are mad about Wesley Snipes not being Blade, you're gonna get to see him in Coming to America, coming out in 2020. It seems like Prince Akeem, Eddie Murphy's role, he's about to take over as king from his father, and he finds out that he has a son that he doesn't know anything about. Like a son back in America who grew up in Queens. He's like street savvy is what they're saying in the description. So he has to come back to America to, I guess, get his son and then train him to be next in line as king. So, once again, they're gonna do the whole fish out of water thing, but I can't wait for it. I really cannot wait. Maybe we'll get some more sexual chocolate. I doubt we'll have another one of those scenes where the girl was like barking like a dog. Whatever you like. Harf, 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 harf. In addition to James Earl Jones returning, Paul Bates, that's the guy who played Eddie Murphy's manservant and bodyguard, he's returning as well. And they announced that Leslie Jones is going to be in this. Leslie Jones from SNL, and that Ghostbusters movie that I know I didn't like, but I like her. So it'll be cool to see what kind of role they have for her. And Rick Ross? What is Rick Ross doing in Coming to America 2? So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it all comes together. But mostly it's going to be exciting just to see Eddie Murphy back. I mean, he's been gone really for such a long time that it's going to be cool to see him back in action, and especially in this role that we all know, we all love this movie. It's a classic. I just hope that it's funny. I hope they don't screw it up. I hope they don't try and do too much. So it'll be interesting to see what their approach is and how they make it work and how they make it happen. But I'm totally here for it. I want to see all these people again, and I want to see how they're going to get it done and have it be fun and funny. So that's number 4, Coming to America 2. Coming in at number 3 is more gaming news. We got a lot of information out of Hello Games this past week about No Man's Sky. They have a brand new 2.0 update that's releasing soon. It seems like maybe they're delivering on the promises and all the hype that they had when they released in 2016. If you remember, No Man's Sky was the most anticipated game in 2016. They had built it up so big in gamers' minds that once it launched, they really couldn't live up to their own hype. And it was a huge disappointment. They had to give refunds. It was a mess. And it's interesting to me that not only did they survive that, they continued to update the game. They continued to try to fix it. And with the latest 1.5 update that they did last August, people were more excited about the game again. People were starting to come back to the game and enjoying it and giving it a shot. And all of the news that's coming out for this next update that's coming up has piqued my curiosity. And I was never really all about No Man's Sky. They've announced that you can play the whole game in VR. What was supposed to start as just a VR port of the game, once they got in it and actually played it, they realized that it could really be something special in VR. So they spent a lot of time, a lot of development time, a lot of energy, a lot of thought into how to make the game work in VR and to give it a whole new playing experience. So to me, to be in those environments and to be on those different planets in VR, I think it's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm so interested in it. They've also announced multiplayer. Again, something that was supposed to be a much smaller scale, they have made it into this big thing. They have Nexus. That's an area where players can go to meet, kind of like Destiny's, the tower in Destiny. So there's the Nexus, and in the Nexus you can see players' avatars, you can see their ships, and you can meet up for matchmaking so that you can go on these quests, and they'll have community missions and things like that. They're also going to have some dedicated planets with games on them. They say that one of the planets has like Rocket League style gaming with vehicles and balls. So they're creating these things and creating these ways that players can get together. They're saying that the Nexus will hold 32 players. So you can meet up with like 32 other players and see their planets, their worlds that they've created. You can connect and matchmake and play games together. You can journey together throughout No Man's Sky. So I think it's really interesting what they're doing with this, and I think it's really cool that Hello Games stepped up to the plate and really tried to continue to make this game what they wanted it to be in the beginning. To me, that's huge. You know, that's huge. They spent a lot of money, they spent a lot of time developing the game. And so when it was a flop in 2016, it could have ruined them. It really could have ruined them, but they crawled out, they dusted themselves off, and they are seemingly fulfilling a promise of a game that's pretty epic. So the new update for No Man's Sky is coming August 14th, and it is a free update. So if you already have the game, it's free to you, so might as well check it out. That's number 3, No Man's Sky from Hello Games. Coming in at number 2 is something that has been near and dear to my heart since I was a wee lass. I do not have an Irish accent. I can't do an Irish accent. It's Lucky Charms! This month, Lucky Charms is coming out with Lucky Charms marshmallows. A bag of marshmallows. They're not gonna be the hard marshmallows that are like in the cereal, which are really delicious. They're not gonna be those. They're gonna be real, actual, softer, puffy marshmallows. But they're gonna be the original colors and shapes from when I was a kid. We're talking blue moons, yellow stars, pink hearts, green shamrocks. Those 4 things are going to be made into a delicious, delicious bag of colorful, tasty marshmallows. I can't wait till I see them in the stores. I'm gonna start making my s'mores from my Lucky Charms marshmallows. Like, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. This is like, I feel like it's like every child's dream. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I'm so passionate about my Lucky Charms cereal. I really should have some Lucky Charms cereal here. That's a fail on the prop department. Prop department being me. I'm the producer and writer and director and cameraman and editor and stylist and hair and makeup and props. And I don't have any Lucky Charms. In my heart, I have Lucky Charms. In my heart, I will always have Lucky Charms because Lucky Charms are delicious. Lucky Charms are nutritious. And now we're gonna have a whole bag of Lucky Charms marshmallows. But I'm really excited about it. So yeah, number 2 is Lucky Charms marshmallows. Coming in at number 1 this week, and I put it at number 1 because I just saw the movie, Hobbs and Shaw. But it's about Tyrese throwing shade yet again at The Rock for Hobbs and Shaw's performance numbers. Fast and the Furious 9 was supposed to come out, I guess, this year, but it got pushed back to next year because The Rock wanted to do this Hobbs and Shaw movie. Tyrese got all mad, got all upset, was whining and crying about Fast and the Furious being pushed back. He went into this whole thing, this is like, I think last year sometime, he went into this whole thing being really upset about Hobbs and Shaw coming out before Fast and the Furious 9. Which, you know, in a way, I don't blame him because Fast and the Furious is the franchise. Like, that's the franchise. So The Rock coming into the franchise later and then wanting to capitalize on that, I can see how somebody could get a little upset about it. But at the same time, Tyrese, you really shouldn't be like talking about your own like that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have like a little family unity. So Tyrese later apologized, saying that he really shouldn't have said all that, and he was on some psych meds and he wished he hadn't taken them because they made him tell the truth or something crazy like that. Basically, he didn't really take any responsibility. He was just kind of like, the meds made me do it. But what's your excuse now, Tyrese? What is your excuse now? Once again, Tyrese has come back and had something to say once Hobbs and Shaw released. He made a post on his Instagram account. The Shade Room was able to take a screen grab of it before he deleted it. So I guess he kind of rethought the complaining, but it doesn't matter. Once you put something on the internet, y'all, it's there. Once it's released, you can't get that back. He says, I have to show my respects for one thing. He tried. And he said that the box office numbers for Hobbs and Shaw are not a win. Folks called me a hater and attacked me for speaking out. Breaking up the family clearly doesn't have the value that one would assume it does. You know what? Maybe, just maybe, The Rock and the crew will come dance with us again for Fast 10. We can all hug it out and get back to giving the true fans who have supported this franchise for 20 years what they want. No hating, I'm just pointing out the facts. So I don't know if this is calculated or if this really is just Tyrese acting up again. They are getting publicity for Hobbs and Shaw because of these actions of Tyrese, because Tyrese is speaking out. They're getting publicity for Hobbs and Shaw. And it's true, Hobbs and Shaw did not do the numbers that Fast and the Furious movies have done in the past. You know, it was a respectable opening, but they weren't breaking any records for that. So I do think that a Fast and the Furious movie would have done much better at the box office, but you never know. You never know. I mean, you're giving me The Rock, you're giving me Jason Statham, you're giving me Idris, and y'all know how I feel about my Idris. Whew. I saw it. The movie was ridiculous and over the top, and it was so much fun. I had fun with it. So I'm not going there thinking I'm seeing Oscar performances. I'm going there for some eye candy, for action, for ridiculous stunts. Just like what Fast and the Furious has given us, that's what Hobbs and Shaw gave us. And it was fine. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Tyrese can jab, he can complain all he wants. He's still making plenty of money off of the Fast and the Furious franchises himself. You don't have to come after Hobbs and Shaw. You mad because you weren't in it? You weren't invited to be in it? You wanted to be, Black Superman like Idris? Ooh. Well, they didn't ask you to do that. You already have your movie, Tyrese, so just relax, just chill, just count your money, be with your family, sit in your limo, I don't know. But coming for The Rock is completely unnecessary. So that's number one, Tyrese coming for The Rock. So that's it for the Liquid Lowdown for this week. Thank you for hanging out with me. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave any thoughts about what I've talked about this week in the comments. Don't forget, every Tuesday I am live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/liquidlola, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. So I hope I see you then. That's it. I will see you guys next week for another The Liquid Lowdown. Until then, bye.
The Liquid Lowdown.